Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Monday night HJCAC Coaches Show, live from Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. My name is Vince Delicio. You've got me solo tonight. I'm really excited because I have a chance to sit here every once in a while and give you perspective. Give you perspective of a couple things. Number one, I want to talk to you about the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference, and I want to talk about this 5-year going on 6-year partnership that the Varsity Sports Show has had with this incredible league. Once upon a time, I was a junior college coach. I was a junior college player, and that's where I got my start in terms of learning how to be a student and getting mentored by some great leaders. That went away in 2018 in terms of the junior college football as we knew it at the time. There were 4 schools here in the Phoenix metropolitan area. There was a school in Yuma. There was a school in Safford that all fielded football teams, and it all went away just like that. It was tragic. It was a tough situation. But this group of coaches came together, and they formed a league called the HJCAC, the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. And what this league did is it brought dreams back. It allowed young people to have opportunities to get noticed, to get mentored, to get coaching, to get into school, and to have a future in football, in academics. And that is where we were 6 years ago. Now, fast forward, hundreds of scholarships, hundreds of opportunities have been created by this incredible league. I've had a chance to have a bird's eye view the last few years, and it's a model that works. It's a model that has done a lot of good for a lot of people. It's something that goes full circle, that brings players back ultimately into communities once they finish their education, once they graduate, and they become members of the community. And so it is an incredible thing. I could preach on it all day long, but we're going to focus on the here and now from here on out. Let's talk about the partnership that the Varsity Sports Show has had with the HJCAC. We have been privileged over the past 5-6 years to broadcast and cover upwards of 65 games. I sat down, I did the math today, and that's a lot of games, and that's a lot of exposure for young people to have opportunities to move on. There's a lot of colleges that don't even broadcast games, that don't cover games, that don't do it the way we've been doing it, and that's been an incredible opportunity for us, and we're privileged to have this partnership with the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. This season, we are covering a game of the week every single week of the season, which equates to, I believe, 10, 11 games. But in addition to that, there are typically 2 games that happen on Saturday nights, okay, because there are 4 teams in this league, and there's a couple of at-large opportunities or teams that play these HJCAC teams, such as Arizona Christian, and there have been some competitive games, but we are sending crews out to cover those games as well. Even when it's not a full-blown production, we're out there covering those games, making sure that our student-athletes are getting proper coverage. Okay, and in addition to that, we have our Varsity Sports Show weekly segment, the JUCO Report, at 10 a.m. on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona, where we feature a coach giving us a breakdown, a preview of that day's game. And this show, which is the HJCAC Monday Night Coaches Show, courtesy of Angry Crab Shack in Tempe and this partnership with the Hohokam Junior College Athletic Conference. We're here every Monday night during the season, featuring players, featuring coaches, getting to know a little bit more about the league and about the players. And it's been a lot of fun. And tonight, we are definitely not going to disappoint either with the 2 young men that are joining us during the show. We have with us Mr. Antoine Simpson, who is a defensive back linebacker with the Gila River Hawks. And we also have Jonah Brewster, who is a quarterback with the Gila River Hawks. We had covered the Hawks versus Arizona Christian game on Saturday night, and both played exceptionally well. Looking forward to getting to know them over the next few minutes. We're going to come back. Don't go anywhere, folks, here on the HJCAC Monday Night Coaches Show. We'll be back with Gila River Hawks outside linebacker, strong safety, Antoine Simpson. We'll be back. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
This is Stella Tai from Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Baseball Never Ends in Arizona as a new Arizona Fall League campaign has officially started Monday in Mesa. Every October, 30 Major League Baseball clubs are divided into 6 teams where their top prospects will join a new team and play with someone else who is not from their original team. Last Friday, the league hosted the Media Day in Scottsdale Stadium. From 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., each of the 6 teams had an hour for photo shoots and interviews, followed by another hour of on-field workout. For most of the young players, this is going to be a new and fun experience.
There's a lot of familiar faces, just guys that I've known for like many years and played against many years ago, and then to finally see them again, it's just fun. It's a cool experience, and I'm just excited to get going playing.
Arizona Fall League serves as a great platform where players not only gain additional reps heading into the off-season, but also accelerate their growth by competing with other rising stars. This year, the Arizona Diamondbacks sent 8 minor league players to play for their affiliated team, the Salt River Raptors. The roster features the top 2 picks in 2023 draft class, Tommy Troy and Gino Groover. Both infielders missed over 2 months with injuries and will use the Fall League to make up the lost reps.
I think this gives you a sense, essentially, a taste of what the big league life is like. You know, everyone's striving for that goal, so we all come out here with that experience to finally see what it's like and go out here. We have the big league uniforms, we're in the big league locker room, and it's just nice to see. You know, obviously that's the end goal for all of us, so it's nice to get a taste of it.
In its 30-year history, Arizona Fall League has a number of noticeable alumni, including Derek Jeter, Albert Pujols, Mike Trout, and so on. Apparently, the list of the great players reminds these young stars of how bright their futures are. This is Stella Tai from Arizona State University, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show.
Welcome back to the HJCAC Monday Night Coaches Show here out at Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. If you guys are anywhere in the neighborhood, come on out. We're just east of I-10 on Warner Road in Tempe. Best seafood boils around. They've got a really good fried chicken sandwich, buffalo chicken sandwich. It's amazing. But more on that later. We're joined by Antoine Simpson. Antoine is a defensive back, outside linebacker, strong safety with the Gila River Hawks. All over the field.
Yes,
you played lights out the other night. I wanted to get to know you a little bit. You're not from Phoenix. You're from New York.
Yes, sir.
Buffalo.
Yes, sir.
How'd you end up out here?
My grandparents actually moved me out here. My grandmother accepted a better paying job, so we had packed everything up and moved out here.
How did you feel about that? How old were you?
8, 9 years old, maybe.
Okay.
It was brand new. I was a kid at the time, so it was kind of just like a whole world flipped upside down.
Yeah. Did you miss home? Did you have a hard time adjusting at first?
Yeah, I think I really had a hard time adjusting. I didn't really feel comfortable with anybody here. It was all new people, all new environment, desert compared to everywhere else I was at the city.
I mean, what were some positives eventually? Did it take time? And if so, like, what were some things you came to like about living here?
Football out here is completely different. The football environment out here versus New York is way more competitive. I like the atmosphere way more out here than it was.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that was obviously a positive. How many years you been playing?
Basically my whole life since I was like 4, maybe 5.
Okay. Who was a big influence for you early on? Who got you into the sport?
Ed Reed, Camp Chancellor when he got drafted. I'd say Camp was probably my biggest influence when he got drafted. That's the reason I picked number 3 to begin with.
Okay. But you don't wear number 3 anymore.
No, sir.
You wear number 1.
Yes, sir.
That's a big number.
Yes, sir.
So you got to fill that uniform. That's a pretty big number. Okay, so let's talk about high school. So you went to Basha High School,
Yes,
very
sir.
competitive program. You graduated a couple years back. You spent some time working. How did you get the itch to get back into playing?
That was actually my father got diagnosed with cancer, and then my mom
Oh, I'm sorry.
was more of a let's see what we can do with football. I know you're working, but I think football can honestly take off if you take it more seriously and try to do something with it. So I ended up DMing my film to Papago. The Sidewinders were around at the time. Salt River. Papago was the first team that got back, then Gila River. So I ended up joining Gila River with Coach Den Holter, I believe it was last year.
Yep. What uh, what was it like being away? Because you graduated from high school in 2019, so you were away from the game for a couple of years. And how was the adjustment getting back? How were the workouts? I mean, had you been staying in shape that whole time, or what was that like putting a uniform on after all those years?
Probably for like the last 6 months before I had decided I was going to play is when I got back in shape. I started taking the gym more seriously. I was on the field every day with receivers, working out, trying to get back into shape as far as I could. And I guess just the field paid off, and all the work and the hard nights paid off.
The now that you're with Coach Larry Kane and your second year with the Hawks, it's been a little bit of an up and down season for you guys, but that's the way the league is. One,
Yes, sir.
you could beat the league champion one week, and then the next week you might drop a game to someone kind of in the middle. It's just how matchups work. So, what's been kind of the biggest adjustment for you with this league, and also your positions defensively, because you bounce around between, you play a strong safety, you play an outside linebacker, which are very similar positions, but what do you enjoy about that? Do you ever get the itch to get some reps on offense? I mean, what has that been like for you?
I think the whole thing's been exciting. I played complete strong safety last year, so this year transitioning to more of an outside linebacker in the box role and going down and playing edge sometimes, just being all around the ball. I think that's more exciting. I have a nose for the football, and I'm all around the ball at times during the game, so I just find it more exciting being around the ball and closer to the line of scrimmage.
Okay, so take Antoine Simpson out of the game. If you were watching the Gila River Hawks, who would be some players that you would watch out for?
Jonah,
Okay,
the quarterback,
all right.
Jerry.
Is it because he's sitting right there?
No, sir.
Okay, all
The
right.
film speaks for itself.
Okay, all right. Jerry, the other quarterback,
Yes, sir.
Jerry Kellner. Okay,
Running
who else?
back Nicholas Norman,
Nick Norman,
wide
okay.
receivers Anthony Jackson, Dawan
Okay.
Anderson,
Okay.
defensive backs Jaquan Lamb,
Wow.
defensive line Zachary Duarte, Stephen Avila, just kind of all over the ball.
You guys have quite the brotherhood. I mean, if you're saying all this about them, they probably feel the same about you
Yes, sir.
in a respect. So, okay, big game this week. You guys are facing the Maricopa Mustangs, #1 team in the league, at your place.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be our game of the week. It's going to be featured on the radio. We're going to talk about that a little later as well. What are some things that you feel you match up well against the Mustangs, because you played them earlier in the season as well?
I think skill for skill, we match up perfectly. I think it was just more the game slipped away from us the first time around, and now we know what to expect, and we know how to better prepare ourselves this week around, and I don't think it's going to get away from us this time.
Okay. Antoine Simpson, moving on beyond the Gila River Hawks, what are your goals? Where do you – any ideas right now at this point? Because this is your second year now,
Yes,
so
sir.
obviously there have been some schools that have been coming around kind of kicking the tires a little
Yes,
bit,
sir.
wanting to get to know you. So what are your thoughts?
Ultimately, I'd like to go up to the NFL. I feel like that's all football players' aspirations, to go to the NFL.
Sure.
But if that doesn't end up working out, I'd like to open up a business and nutrition restaurant or a service for athletes where I could stay involved
Nice.
in the football program.
Amazing. All right. Antoine, thanks so much for joining us. Good luck this week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
It's been great to get to know you, and I
You as well.
appreciate
Thank
you
you.
coming out.
Thank
All
you.
right. Guys, we'll be right back after the break. Don't go anywhere. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hello everyone, I am Mason Byers, an Arizona State University student, and I'm reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Today I'm going to be previewing some of the top NCAA college football matchups going on this weekend. Classic rivalry in a Red River showdown between number 1 ranked Texas and number 18 ranked Oklahoma. Quinn Ewers is expected to get the start for the first time in multiple weeks due to an injury. On the Oklahoma side, they are led by true freshman quarterback Michael Hawkins, who was actually the backup to start the year, but has earned his way to a starting spot due to his high level of play. This is a rivalry that has been dated back all the way to the early 1900s and has been pretty much played every year since. This game should end up being a good one and another classic rivalry in the Red River Showdown. The next game I want to get to is perhaps not only the biggest game of the week, but one of the biggest games of the year. It is a Big Ten conference matchup in which number 2 ranked Ohio State goes into Oregon to face off against number 3 ranked Oregon. Both of these teams have started off 5-0 to start this year and have only improved week by week. Both teams have acquired a lot of talent in the offseason, mostly from the transfer portal. Ohio State got quarterback Will Howard and defensive back from Alabama, Caleb Downs, while Oregon got big-time transfer quarterback from Oklahoma, Dylan Gabriel, who was a Heisman finalist last year. This is the first time that Ohio State and Oregon are meeting as Big Ten opponents, and this should prove to be one of the biggest games in terms of rankings later down the road. Whoever wins this game will have their sights set on completing an undefeated season and will hope to enter the college football playoff with a lots of momentum. These are some of the 2 biggest games that I would look out for this weekend and tune into. With the Varsity Sports Show, I am Mason Byers reporting.
All right, guys, welcome back to the HJCAC Monday Night Coaches Show. Vince DeLisio here, joined by another fine young man by the name of Jonah Brewster. He is a quarterback for the Gila River Hawks, had a little bit of a different journey. He comes from Arkansas, and we're going to get to know Jonah. Jonah, thank you so much for joining us tonight. You had a heck of a game the other night. It is one thing to start a game and to be the guy and to start taking reps from play number 1, but to have to come in relief, that's tough, because then the expectation's that much higher, because maybe if the other guy isn't playing as well, then you have to come in and kind of be the savior. And what kind of pressure is that?
To me, it really ain't no pressure at all. I've been playing the game for a long time, so pressure is nothing to me.
Yeah. You grew up in Arkansas. You came, you're from Little Rock, Arkansas, but your journey took you to an HBCU and Grambling University. What was it like at Grambling? What was the culture like? It's a very traditional program.
It's fun, it wasn't like as I thought it would be.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
You spent a year there, and then you decided, again, like you said, it wasn't what you thought. You played some running back for them, and then decided to make it out west. How did you end up, of all places, someone that grew up in Arkansas that spent time in the South at Grambling that ends up out here in Arizona? Take me through that journey.
Grambling, my grades, I had a hard time keeping my grades up.
Okay.
That messed me up, so I wanted to just come out here with my friend and restart and retry.
So you came out here with somebody. You had was it a teammate that ended
Yes,
up? Okay, good. All right, good decision for you.
Yes, sir.
How did you end up playing quarterback?
Well, I always been able to throw the ball, and the coaches found out that I could throw, and we only had one quarterback on the team, so
it was out of necessity. So you stepped up to the challenge. One thing I noticed about you, number one, you've got an interesting sidearm delivery. Now, how is that developed? And you get the ball there. I mean, you do a good. You threw some bombs, but then you threw. I watched you on a couple of slant routes, a couple of curls, and it was just this kind of this sidearm thing. How did all that come about? I mean, has that always been your throwing motion? Was that something that you just kind of worked on over time to kind of thread the needle and get it in there? Or
my throwing motion, it really changed a lot. I really don't I don't think about how I throw. As I throw, it just comes out that way.
You ripped off a couple of big runs, because I was up there the other night as we were calling the game, and I said, okay, well, he's a quarterback, but he can run the ball. I bet you at one time he played running back, and sure enough, I mean, that was amazing. As you look across the field this Saturday, you guys are facing the number one team in the league in Maricopa, and what are some things that you think you'll be able to attack on their defense or things that you're prepping for because you've already played them once that from the last game maybe that could end up working to your advantage?
Well, the first game that we played them, I played all defense, so I didn't get any snaps at offense.
Okay.
So all of this team is new to me pretty much.
Okay.
So I'm just ready to come out there and play.
So it's going to be a new game for you. It's going to be a new team and a new opportunity. Okay. Do you know any of the guys on the other team? I know a lot of guys know each other within these teams that you play against, and but you've only been here a couple of months, so you probably don't know.
Nah, I don't know nobody on Maricopa.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. What do you hope to accomplish here? This is your first year, so are you going to try and stick it out for 2 years and see what opens up elsewhere, or, to try to move on? What's your goal?
Hopefully I can get out of here after this year, but if I have to come back, then I'll do that.
Okay. How has schoolwork been with you with the grades? Are you working, keeping up on that and really studying and doing all that while you're here?
Yeah, I'm keeping my grades up this year.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. All right, wonderful. Okay, well, great. Well, guys, that was Jonah Brewster, quarterback for the Gila River Hawks. We'll hope to see him on Saturday. Did a great job the other night. And definitely stay tuned. When we come back from the break, we're going to do a quick recap. We're going to talk about the coverage for Saturday and some other things. So thanks again for joining us here on the Monday night HJCAC Coaches Show here at Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. We'll be right back.
Hello, everyone. I am Mason Byers.
The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe, with an experience so good it remains indescribable, with something for every seafood lover. Try one of their amazing custom seafood boils, sandwiches, appetizers, and salads. Angry Crab Shack Tempe is located east of I-10 on Warner Road, 480-674-3847. The Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Come ready to eat.
Hi everyone, my name is Kiana Watchman from the University of Arizona, reporting for the Varsity Sports Show. Breaking NAIA football. Unranked Concordia defeats number 2 ranked Northwestern. This week, NAIA football has been shaken up as the rankings drastically change after Northwestern's defeat. Concordia Bulldogs stunned the NAIA community. The 29-17 defeat broke Northwestern's 20-home game-winning streak. On top of these accolades, this is Concordia's first top 10 ranked defeat since 2017. Concordia racked up a total of 320 yards offensively to Northwestern's 253. Carson Fellhafer was awarded NAIA Defensive Player of the Week. The nose guard contributed 8 tackles, 3 sacks, and a pass breakup. Fellhafer leads in sacks with 5 for the season. Luke Penrod and Jaden Sire are credited for an interception each. This loss drops Northwestern from 2 to 8 in rank, while Concordia receives 13 votes to be added to the top 25. Concordia heads into their bye week this weekend. This is Kiana Watchman. Follow my ex at KWatchman News, and as always, bear down. Hi everyone, my name is Kiana Watchman.
Welcome back
from
to
the University
Monday
of
night
Arizona,
HJCAC Coaches Show, presented by Angry Crab Shack in Tempe. Vince Delisio here, and guys, what an amazing show. It was great visiting with both Antoine and Jonah, talk a little bit about the Gila River Hawks. This week, big game. Let's go through the coverage. So, first of all, Saturday morning, make sure to tune into the Varsity Sports Show on AM 1060 KDUS Arizona from 9 to 11. We'll do the JUCO report featuring Coach Doug Medoski of the Maricopa Mustangs. He'll give some notes on what's going on in the league, as well as give us a preview of Saturday night's action. Then, the big games on Saturday night. There are 2 games going on. There's going to be a game that the Salt River Scorpions are hosting against the Papago Pumas at 7 p.m. And then the other game, the featured game, will be the live stream game of the week. The Maricopa Mustangs are going to be at the Gila River Hawks, which will also be the debut. Guys, this has taken us 5 years to get this done. AM 1060 KDUS Arizona is providing radio coverage of the Hawks Mustangs game. It is that big a game. It is going to be on AM statewide sports radio, and you can tune in anywhere in the world on the KDUS AM 1060 app. You can tune in locally on AM 1060 as well throughout the state of Arizona. It's going to be exciting. I am fortunate enough I'm going to be on the call, joined by Douglas Santo, who will be providing color commentary, as well as Julia Coyne, will be our sideline reporter, and the rest of our amazing crew. It'll be simulcast on our live stream on YouTube as well as on the radio. Make sure you watch it. Make sure you listen to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and we're excited to bring it to you, to continue to provide opportunities for our young people to showcase their skills for there's a lot of great football in the junior colleges, and this league is a big part of it. So, guys, thanks again for tuning in here on the Monday Night HJCAC Coaches Show, live from Angry Crab Shack. Looking forward to seeing you Saturday night. Tune in Saturday morning to the JUCO Report, and then we'll see you Saturday night at 7 on AM 1060. Have a good night, everyone.
Three,